All right, we're back here for Behind Closed Doors. Today is August 5th, and we're officially into August. Sorry for the break we took on Monday. I was traveling back from Wisconsin in the wedding I had this weekend and didn't feel like doing the show. I didn't have all the material, and I'm lazy. So
I told Dion and you canceled the show, and I speculated that you might have corona. That might be the reason you canceled.
No. So funny you say that. I got my test results back this morning I took one in Madison right before I left on Monday. Monday morning, got it back negative today, but D was like incubation period of 4 days. You still have to go take another one. So then I did Jeff Toll, his whole corona testing at the Peppermint Club this morning. So.
And you got your results or no?
Did Jeff go to you or did you go to him?
No. To who?
To Dr. Toll's.
Yeah, you pull up to the Peppermint Club, and then it's just like a drive-through testing situation.
Your results back?
No, I'll get those back either tomorrow or the day after. So.
And are you quarantined until you get your results back or no?
No, absolutely not.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, I can't come into the office. I need to go back to the office especially because I have stuff with New Republic I need to finish up and like get working on, and like I can't till I go back. So.
Don't you blame me for your recklessness?
No, I'm not. But I have there's work to be done, and if there's work to be done, I like to do the work. So I'm waiting to get back in. But once we get that second negative, that'll be pretty sweet because I can't wait to rub it in their face and let them know that I raged and got away with it.
It does feel great. So we had a question in the chat. Is it a long wait for a test? There's a couple type of tests. Like there's one that's a rapid response test. It costs $150 and you get a response within 15 minutes. Then the free ones, the county does, you get a response. That's the one I did. It took 2 days to get a response. But yeah, there's no better feeling than getting that negative. So for example, I came back to LA a week ago and my mom didn't let me into my house or her house at all, or let me see anything. So I had to sleep on Robbie's floor for 4 nights and it sucked. And then I got the negative and I was just like, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want now. And I walked into the house and I was like, I'm home.
Literally, I got so nervous this morning. I had like a little panic attack, right? Would you call me? This lady was being real hesitant. And if she does this all day, she's got to be ruining some people's days. Because she just approaches it I have your test results. And I'm like, why are you like that? Just tell me that she's negative.
I got an email saying your test results are in, and then you had to click it and then log in to get the results. And I'm like, I don't know my fucking login. So I'm like, trying to find my login everywhere. I'm like, I had to reset the password. I'm like, great. This is just say yes or no.
Right. Traveling wasn't that weird though either. I had the plane was packed, but
yeah, I had a full flight as well.
I don't think they're doing that middle seat thing anymore.
They never. I mean, to be honest with everyone, I've traveled a little bit during quarantine and taken a few flights.
A few, like a dozen or more.
And I've never had a plane that wasn't full.
Are you going back to Florida?
The plan was to go back to Florida, but we were looking at this place in Austin that we committed to, and then we pretty much we agreed on this place starting in August 15th, 2 weeks from now. And then the owner just said, or the realtor just told us the owner wants to live in it. So we don't have a place anymore. And I was like, oh, sick. So actually I'm back to the nomad life, even though we have some shit in Austin. We have some shit in the storage unit in LA. We have some shit in Florida. And then Alicia's talking about maybe going to Hawaii or Nashville. And I'm like, oh yeah, great idea. Let's go get a storage unit somewhere and just get our shit distributed all over the US.
Well, if you went to Hawaii, wouldn't you have to quarantine for 14 days?
Supposedly.
So someone in the comments asked the question we're all wondering, which is, how was the wedding and was there any social distancing?
Which, oh, yeah.
So there is clarity. Huh?
I assume there's absolutely no social distancing.
No.
You are completely and utterly wrong. There was some clarity needed on this because the guys threw me completely under a bus with this. D was like, of one video, 1 10-second video, D speculated everything that I knew he would off of that.
So why'd you post the video?
Well, I didn't even think about it. I sometimes I forget that D follows me and that they would have those type of remarks, but then I did realize the next day I was like, fuck, that's going to result in that. But there were masks there to be handed out, hand sanitizer all over, multiple sanitation stations. included in that as well. All the elderly people wore masks. We weren't as a wedding party going to wear masks for this ceremony. But after that, everybody was socially distanced at their tables. Just like in any restaurant you would go to, you were allowed to take off your mask while at the table. And then after that, all the old people left, and it was left to about 20 people, in which we had an outdoor after party, dance party. So they can go suck it, because that was about as well social distance as you could be. It was right on the lakefront. So.
Did you make out with anyone?
No, I didn't.
You
I don't think so.
You had a suspiciously long time to answer that.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. You're like laughing. That was my only thing. It wasn't a me thing. It was a you
might
thing.
cut out again, I think. Now, I don't know if you told, I can't remember if you told some of the group chat fans, but you were the officiant of the wedding.
Yes. I married my friend.
Famous now? Like you go to LA and you're the most famous guy from your hometown now, and they want Famous Pete to do it?
Famous officiant.
Yeah, I think it's starting to become a weekend thing for me, a weekend side hustle. I'm going to throw away the video and photo stuff and just go straight marriage. I think that's just a route to go. I think you make a lot of money doing it. So, yeah, it's my new thing to do on the weekends.
Now, is there an officiant class on Skillshare that you're going to be pitching at some point?
No, because it is as easy as logging on to the universallifechurch.com. It's the first Google search when you go, I need to get ordained. You put in your name, email, and then you become ordained. So there's not even a test you need to take. You just need to put in a name and an email.
So a little bit of a non sequitur here, but I'm very curious to hear Taylor's thoughts especially. So you just said, I put into the Google search, I need to get ordained. I am so curious how people search behavior. Like when I search into Google, I do not use any sentence case. I'm just typing in the words that I need, the least amount of words to get the answer that I need. Are you like, I feel like my mom is like doing full sentences with like first one's capitalized, maybe punctuation. You know what I mean? Like men's shoes, for the summer is like a typical, let's say, keyword that we bid on as a business. Like nobody's typing in, I really need men's shoes for the summer so that I can look good with my friends. So I'm curious, like, is that your just typical, like, are you typing in how to get ordained? Or are you typing in, I need to be ordained? I'm very curious.
Yeah, I was typing in, how do I get ordained? It was a full sentence though. It wasn't just like ordained. It was like, huh?
Do you put a question mark?
No, not usually. No punctuation.
Yeah. I'm with, yeah, I think most people just direct to the point, like how to get ordained would probably be the search. But this has got me really interested. So some online church made you an official ordainer. So so I could theoretically start a online church and bid on the top keyword for how to get ordained and charge people $25 to officially be ordained with my church?
Yes, you could. I believe so.
Sounds like there's an there.
And
your opportunity for you, Taylor, is to be like Retail Me Not. You just bid on all of those keywords, and then you create just a repository of all the top ordaining churches. And then you sort of affiliate.
Or even, yeah. Well, and I could even win organic SEO on that. Just make the list, like the top 10 places to get ordained, pros and cons of each one.
Yep. And you have famous, famous people being ordained. So then there's all the press that can come with that, like Pete.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I could talk about Pete could leave a review. This seems like a interesting little side hustle here.
I just wanted to let you guys know this will be broadcasted everywhere and we're live. So people could just steal this idea as well because you just are talking so in depth.
Taylor's going to be into it.
They want to. Ideas are worth nothing. It's all about execution.
It's all about execution. Okay, let's just keep moving on. A really funny story that Josh brought up to me when we were talking about bringing him on. I'll let him obviously go into detail more about it, but he's recently gotten on the Clubhouse where Ahmed had first introduced it on a group chat. I don't know the whole story behind Clubhouse. If you want to talk to that real quick, you can. But Josh, tell me about this funny story about how you came across Taylor on Clubhouse.
I don't know this story.
You don't know this story?
No, I'm excited.
So prior to working in fashion, I was a venture capitalist. And for those that don't know, Clubhouse, Anna did talk about it on the group chat, but basically it's this app that has live chat rooms that you can start and that you can jump in and out of. So it's essentially like live podcasting. And that's how it's starting to evolve, is where there's these repeating rooms where people come in and bring on guests, and you start to follow these different conversations over time. And it gets a lot of shit in the press because it's essentially, because it's invite only, the investors and founders started inviting their friends who were investors, and founders who started inviting their friends who were investors and founders. And so the community is biased towards the people who are investing in early stage companies like this. So naturally, there's an argument for the echo chamber of this being the best idea in the world, because it's just the people that would typically pitch it, saying that it is. Is that a fair explanation, Taylor?
I mean, I would just simplify it. It's a Silicon Valley circle jerk.
There it is. The truth prevails.
Taylor's take on that, which is basically saying the same thing in much less words. So I appreciate that. I've been in and out. There's gems in there for sure. I think it's a really interesting concept. And as somebody who's a voracious podcast listener, it makes sense naturally to be exploring this as something in my spare time. And so I get a text from a friend who says, hey, there's this really awesome e-commerce room going on right now. It's, it's in the time, so, join it or don't. And so I pop in, and I think I'm going for a run. So typically, that's where I listen to group chat, is like on my runs in the morning. And so this is the natural. So I popped in, I'm just running through Hancock Park, and I'm listening to these people just talk about really heady, e-commerce specific, meta tags and the whole CCPA situation with cookies. And then I hear a familiar voice, such a specific voice that I'm like, no, it can't be. And I look for a phone. Naturally, Taylor has managed to not only infiltrate my runs through group chat, not only infiltrate my daily life through being 1 degree separated from my conversations with D or Anand or Pete, but the one place where I'm running in a meditative state, I get to hear Taylor basically doing his full pitch on feet, the opportunity, and check every box. And I gotta tell you, as someone who's heard it more than I'm even comfortable with, Taylor sounds so smart in every one of these conversations, and these people really do actually. I want to say this, honestly, I think you do have a lot of valuable insight, Taylor, that when you hear the way people react, it's not fuck this guy, which I think has just been a really great evolution of what the group chat fans have now, that's the relationship with the group chat fans. It's it's fresh eyes that can't say Pete's an idiot and fuck Taylor. And so it's just funny. Did Anand just say Clubhouse is officially over?
Yeah, perfect. Clubhouse is over. Taylor's has hot takes. You hear that, Anand? I got great takes. Really great takes.
But it's actually fascinating because I never knew the full profit story.
That's bad. That was bad.
It comes up every once in a while, and people just start messaging in a group chat, what is Taylor doing on my TV? And what is the profit? And what is this? And I was like, oh. They're like, wow, he is really an asshole, huh? I was like, take it easy. That's an old episode.
Well, I think there's two sides. I mean, I think I have a pretty polarizing personality. It's very easy to be painted in that direction if you want to, whether it's Anand or D, being scared about me taking the throne from them, so they want to paint me in that way. You hear that, Anand? Or whether it's a TV show where they want to just make that. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, all press is good press. So I'm in all your ears. I'm coming in everywhere.
I can't escape it. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Are you still popping in and out of Clubhouse?
I was. There's that e-commerce one that I was talking almost every single day there. It's good, but like, I don't like talking about shit. That like, I just don't like talking about shit. Because if I have good shit going on, like I try to keep it closer to my chest. And then B, like, I don't like listening to shit because I just don't want to sit around and like listen to people all day. I have enough to chew. I don't want to keep biting off more. I think there's a certain type of entrepreneur or just people in the business world that like, they just want to learn all the time, which is great. But like, you can't learn all the time. You got to go fucking do shit. So like, as much as I love Clubhouse, like I don't need more inputs or in my brain. Like I know what I have to do. I just have to do it.
So
were you doing it for like discoverability, or like what were you doing it for
in Clubhouse?
Whether you were sitting in or yeah.
Well, I was just pissed off because there's all these fucking fuckheads in e-commerce that aren't smart, that are just good at promoting themselves all day, and people think they're the e-commerce geniuses. And especially like there's a whole different world of, they call it D2C and like D2C Twitter, where it's all these people. It's just like their job is they just sit around and talk about direct to consumer stuff on Twitter all day. And it's just like, sometimes I got to pop in there and just be like, yo, like, here's what the fuck's really going on, people. Like, you guys just talk about it. We actually do it. And here's what's good. So it's like, if you get D2C Twitter on your side, that it's all these like, there's a lot of good things that can come from it. Like whether it's private equity people or VC people, not that we want to raise money or even get acquired, but it's just to have respect in that world. And sometimes you just got to come in there and just put your dick on the table and say, what's up, motherfuckers? Here's what's good.
So as I segue from that,
from putting your dick
one thing you mentioned was, which I'm finding fascinating. So this idea of like promotion versus like, I find it fascinating now that brands, more than ever before, and it's also an extension of how social media has given access to more personal life beyond, your public life versus your private life. I think it's so fascinating that brands are becoming extensions of the people who run them, and how, it started with Emily Weiss, and there's a list of many, many founders that are personalities, and vice versa, and that personalities are now becoming founders by monetizing their their fan base, their audience, and we talk a lot about that. And you even see now there's even more of a trend. You've mentioned before how was it Logan Paul? You'd done a stock with Logan Paul and sold 100 or 1,000x what you sold versus showing up on broadcast television. And so now the Logan Pauls of the world are actually creating not just merch but real businesses. The We Want One, the Something Navy, the Yes Jules, whomever it is. What are your opinions on? Do you have to chase both as far as personal branding versus your business? Because I see them all the time. You need a better job of being the face of New Republic, right? Being out there and being available. Like D will slide into the DMs of Menlo fans and just say like that are tagging the brand wearing a cool outfit and say, hey man, that looks awesome on you. And that's a personal relationship that's really impactful, because he's listening and he's watching, and in return you build this emotional connection with the brand, right? So what's your take on that, and how can people who are maybe just starting out build the personal brand the right way versus just being the guy on TikTok pitching stock tips or whatever it is?
Yeah, so first I want to say, like, I don't think that every entrepreneur or CEO needs to be on camera. It's like, actually for most, they probably shouldn't be on camera. Because like, if you're not naturally, if that's not you, like, don't try to be something you're not. Like, it's okay to be low key. Like, it's okay to not. Go on, Pete.
Yeah, that's literally the number one thing. Is like, dude, just because Gary Vee says you need to be on there, do not force yourself to be on there. It's the most annoying thing ever to have people that just suck at it. It's just gonna ruin it. Like, nobody wants to pay attention anyways.
Yeah, and it's like there's it's almost cringe. Like when you see like a 39-year-old founder of a company trying to make some funny, cool content, and it's just like so awkward and cringe. Not firing any shots here. I think D's 39 though. But you don't, not every, just because you have a brand doesn't mean you have to be front and center. I think it's amazing to have connections with the founders and the fact that the founders care. Like the fact that D's sliding into people's DMs, that's awesome. Like personally, I don't have the bandwidth or time or energy for that, but I think that's an amazing thing to do. Like if it were me, I'd probably outsource that and just like have someone in the Philippines have my Instagram and just DM everyone and try to figure out how I could scale. Cause I don't think that scales. And I don't think a founder talking to your customers can scale forever. But I think, yes, could there be a relationship with the customers? It's awesome if they can, but not every founder needs to have a huge following and needs to be front and center all the time. Sometimes just let the product speak for itself.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What do you think, Pete?
No, I pretty much agree with everything he said. It's just dependent on where your position really is, who your company is it right for you to talk, not talk, things like that. And even if you don't have you as a founder, as a spokesperson, I think having a spokesperson of some nature is important. Like even for group chat, those guys are the face. Everybody knows like I generally am the communicator. So it's good for things like that if you have somebody at your brand that is the central point communicator that is more personal rather than just a brand talking to you. But like the guy for Morning Brew who's on Twitter, everybody knows he's the guy. So having that direct connect, whether you're talking to Morning Brew or him, it seems like the same person essentially.
Yeah. And it's also knowing that your personal brand doesn't always align with your actual company brand. So like my personal brand doesn't fully align with Feet's brand. Like that's more Parker for sure. So like no Feet customer knows about me. Like the Feet customers that go through the customer journey, 99% of our customers have no idea who Taylor is, because if they did follow me, it wouldn't make sense with the brands. Like that's not my brand. I'm not the same brand as Feet. And I think it's important to acknowledge that, because when you try to mix the two, and I've seen so many founders try to be like, be the Robin Hood, not Robin Hood the company, but they try to like, say we're cutting out the middleman, I'm pricing everything low for the consumer, whatever. And then you see the founder driving around like a Rolls Royce and you're just like, wait, like you're all about cutting out the middleman and the most cost-effective things, and you're spending all this money here. So I think it's really important to acknowledge your personal brand doesn't always match up with your business brands. If it don't, you shouldn't align the two.
Yeah, I think that's really fair. Let's a question: directly connecting with customers at all? Yeah, I mean, I like to think that I'm taking a little bit of what Taylor's saying and mixing it with my own perspective, which is very, very much. I don't think I will ever, because of our scale, because of how big New Republic is today, I don't know if I can be the one to communicate with every one of our customers. But what I want to make sure of is that every one of our customers does have an emotional connection with our brand if and when they want it. So many. I also think that a fallacy within the e-commerce or the direct, the D2C community is like build an emotional connection with your brand. That's how you win. And the reality is like we sell shoes, right? If you love our shoes, you like wearing them, they're comfortable, they're stylish, and they're great quality. You don't need to love me. You don't need a brand. Like you're gonna love the shoes, and that's all that matters. And I think because of our category, because of what we're looking to accomplish, it's the same thing with a Feet hoodie, right? It could be super comfortable. It could, feel super soft. It doesn't mean that you need to love Taylor. It doesn't mean you need to love Parker or Feet in general. It's just, do you love to be comfortable? Perfect. And so I think that when I define, if we are in the affordable luxury category, the way I define luxury in 2020 and beyond is more about convenience. It's more about comfort, right? So I can argue that Uber is a luxury brand. We've talked about that in the past. I can argue that Airbnb or Postmates is a luxury brand because it creates luxury for the end user. And so I think when I define affordable luxury, it's being able to have all of the luxurious components, comfort and quality and effortlessness with that affordable price point, right? So I think we focus much more on our product than we do on brand. And our brand complements the lifestyle around the product. And so, everything that we shoot, everything that you see should feel luxurious, but the reality is 90% of our time and our budget is going to product and product alone, because that's what matters to us.
Right. Speaking of product, why don't you show us the new shoes?
Yeah, sure. I have time for a plug. If you do. I just happen to have it right here. I see Pete's wearing, is that the new Cove sneaker?
This is the new Cove sneaker.
So, funny side story. So we do fit samples on all of our new shoes. So we have every single size shipped to our office, and then we distribute them to a person of each size. And, if there's anything wrong with the fit, the grading, et cetera, that's when we will, make some edits for the final ones. Pete has caveman feet. So every one of our size 13s goes in his, he gets them and he gets to wear them and he beats the crap out of them. And he always has the same complaints, literally shoes. I go, I think you're the only human being that can do that consistently. Just because, of your mass. And I mean that affectionately, of course. And then somebody asked for a giveaway. I'm happy to give away shoes.
Giveaway. You want to give stuff?
I'm in a giving mood, mostly because Taylor gave away some stuff in our last conversation. So he's inspired me to just be, just more generous. Is that the right way to put it? Well, first let me talk a little bit about the Cove, just because I have it in my hands.
Wait. Let's put some outline on this giveaway, then talk, and then we can pick a winner. So we got to pick a winner.
Okay, how about this? I will give away a pair of the Bowery sneakers. I will give away 2 pairs to any 2 people that Taylor and Pete choose. For Taylor gets to choose one and Pete gets to choose one for reasons that only they decide.
So you have to roast us both. We'll both pick the funniest roast of each other.
Can I choose myself to get a free pair of shoes?
You get a free pair of shoes.
We can talk offline. I can get you a pair of shoes. We'll see.
Self-roast.
No,
that's awesome. All right, so yeah, I guess whoever makes fun of Pete the best, I will give a free pair of shoes to.
And then whoever makes fun of Taylor the best, Pete gets the shoes.
11 people in here, so 11 people. That's a pretty good percentage. That if you just throw a comment out there, you could win.
Well, no, we have to wait for this to go live. Going somewhere after we're posting this.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll post it everywhere.
Cove sneakers. So this is our newest silhouette. It comes out next month, and what we've essentially done is we've taken all of the scientifically designed components of our Apollo sneaker. So it's a synthetic action leather that's stain resistant and wrinkle resistant. We have a sustainable Tencel liner on the interior, if you see, and we've applied them to a more classic silhouette that looks more similar to our Kurt. We have a cap toe in the front. It's just a little bit more stylish, a little clean, really great usage of the action leather. And it's going to come down further in the collar behind, which gives it more of that. The idea is Indian summer, late into September. You can wear it with socks, but it's going to feel a lot more casual than your classic dress sneaker. The shoe is really incredible. I'm very proud of it. It has a multitude of colors. We got this really awesome suede. And the most important part of the Cove is that for the first time ever, we're doing unisex sizing.
Yeah, so women.
Women's size 6 in every colorway of the Cove. And it's a teaser for what's to come, where we're really going to start to broaden our size range and really offer a variety of all of our great shoes for both men and women. So we're really pumped about that. It's been a long time coming.
See, Taylor knows all about opening up to the women's market, because now he is a multimillionaire due to also him offering women's clothes. So
I'm a multimillionaire?
Well, you sure act like it. Yeah,
nice.
theoretically, on a piece of paper, you could maybe convince somebody that you're a millionaire. So
sure. I like multi, though. I like how you used an adjective in front of it.
Yeah, worry because, like someone who has $1 million or $2 million or someone who has, $8 million is a drastically different thing, but those are both multimillionaires.
Yeah.
But no matter the millionaire, you would still look sick in some New Republic Cove sneaks.
I like to think so.
Pete, what's this thing Anand's talking about? I missed our agency call today, but he said
they were giving you shit on the agency call today because the lady was like last time or sometime previous, she was like, you guys should try to get some more content up on TikTok. You can go viral pretty easy. And then Taylor decided to go take that method, use it, of course, on just his own account and not anybody else's, like possible group chats, like she suggested. And then he went semi-viral. So she was like, we're never having a meeting about strategy with Taylor again because he'll just use it for his own good. So
I'm getting shit on because I came up with an idea for a viral TikTok and posted it.
That was not original. Yes.
Yeah,
Renee was very upset.
So ridiculous and messed up. How could I possibly come up with my own idea and post it on my own account? That's just wrong.
I'm starting to think you have no original ideas for some reason.
These are all original ideas.
I don't know. You claim to be so busy throughout the day. I don't get how they could be original ideas. You can hardly keep up.
I think fast.
Okay.
I don't filter. I think and I send. I think and I send. I think and I send.
What do you think about Reels? Somebody asked us before you guys came on about Reels. I had a hot take on it, but
let me hear your hot take. Then I'll give you my original take.
Well, I don't think it'll work for Instagram because it's already a platform that you can hardly get discovered on and or have any reach. If you're going to throw something like TikTok in there, which means you take the TikTok stream and you put it in Instagram, how does that even work? That's going to be a multitude of billion forms of content every day on there. So it's like, how do you even decipher? How does anything get to anybody? Nothing gets to anybody on there now.
Yeah. So my take on it is Instagram's already a platform with so much difficulty to discoverability, and there's a multitude of other content on there, and I just don't think it's going to work.
So the one thing I will say, and I agree with
Pete's take, I just stole.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys.
LinkedIn. Taylor will post out my take on LinkedIn.
Speaking of, my take is I like that Microsoft talks about TikTok because of organic reach. LinkedIn has the most organic reach of any social platform right now.
Buy my course.
Than TikTok. Taylor, naturally plug your course, yes. But in all seriousness, that's why I think that does make a lot of sense, where people keep going, Microsoft is not in the social media business. It doesn't make sense for them. They're not cool. They're not hip. Why would kids care about? Kids don't care about Microsoft, but organic reach, people care about. And so if Microsoft can allow that platform to continue to thrive in organic reach through discoverability and simply be a discoverability platform, I think it could work really well and it will continue to work well. I do think that the implication of it being a US-based business, or at least the walled gardens of data mining of the China's version versus the US, people will be disappointed in how little information we know about you here under all of our privacy restrictions. And because of that, the Discover experience will be toast.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's all fuckery. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting how that works out along with the election.
I like what you said about Microsoft and the social media business and then owning LinkedIn. That was a good connection. I'm actually going to write a LinkedIn post about that. I'll circle back on that. But
you better give him credit.
You inspired me for a LinkedIn post. I'm going to say, people keep saying that Microsoft's not in the social media business, but they own LinkedIn, the best social media platform right now for organic reach.
This is your chance. This is your chance.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how many impressions I get. I'm guessing probably 500,000.
Yeah, did you just see in the comments over here, Anand's just going in on you. Somebody said he's spinning everything off in his favor, just like Trump. And then, so you have a Trump comparison first off, and then secondly, he goes, at least Trump is funny, says Anand.
I mean, if Anand enjoys Trump and wants to support him, that's his stance, and he's entitled to his own opinion on how much he likes Trump. I have nothing to say about that.
Oh, it's spin zone. This is so great. He's gonna try to shit on you on the podcast now. This is great.
Sure. I mean, I'm not going to judge him for how he feels about Trump. If he likes him, he could just say it. Like, I'm not casting any judgment.
Right. Okay. Do we have anything else to add? That was the end of the list of stuff that I had. This is pretty cool. If you're listening to this on audio and or anywhere else, and you've made it this far, which usually people don't because it's like a 40-minute episode now. So it's unlikely anybody makes it this far. But we're gonna
I
live.
think a lot of people make it this far. Don't undervalue us. I actually have a lot of people that reference this a lot, almost so much that it comes up so much in conversation that I might have to start filtering myself because I realize a lot of people actually listen to this.
Wow, interesting.
I will say I am getting sick of the hour-plus long group chats because it's a burden. And I tell D this all the time. I think I could argue the same thing. I think 45 minutes is probably the right amount of time for both. And that's just personal preference.
I agree. I mean, to be fair, I went to group chat yesterday for a recording and I was sitting back there. I was actually in Pete's spot. By the way, Pete, Tim does your job and his job better than you do just your job. But that's neither here nor there. But I was sitting there during the episode and it was pretty boring. Like I got pretty bored yesterday.
It's really great to listen to them. Okay, I'll defend myself in a second, but it's great to listen to them in like half speed or 1.5 or 2 times multiplier.
I only listen on 2x.
Yeah, that helps move it along quicker because you don't have so many like odd pauses. That seems like more entertaining, but yeah, it was almost 2-hour podcast can really drag on.
Yeah.
But to defend myself also, the only reason Tim was able to do that job so well was because I've actually, for a few short months, was doing both of them. So I had an efficiency to give to him, which is how to do them both, which I regularly do too when Tim goes out. So that is all thanks to me. So I'll just take that credit as to why Tim's having any bit of success doing both jobs, and that anything there would not work smoothly without me. So
you're learning, Pete. You got to train and delegate. Just delegate. So then you could sit around all day and just think about LinkedIn posts.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. It's okay. It's been nice to be working from home. I don't have anybody breathing down my neck.
Taylor, for the LinkedIn post, I don't know if you have my LinkedIn handle, if that's a thing, but it's just @Josh Kaplan. And
no, I don't credit people.
No. You have to go into the comments and just start digging at him and like calling me names, and then that'll be perfect. That's how you get your credit.
No, actually, I've been giving credit. I do. I've credited D with a little. I credited him on one of my viral posts, even though I got shit on for it. Oh, so listen to this. This is actually great. So D had this take that like he posted on Twitter that like Microsoft's buying TikTok for free because they're increasing market cap. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet when he was talking about that. Pretty much he said something along the lines of like, based off the speculation of Microsoft buying TikTok, their stock went up 5%, which is equivalent to $75 billion of market cap increase. And they're buying TikTok for $50 billion. So TikTok's essentially free.
Sure, like Amazon and Whole Foods.
Sure. So I repurposed that take on LinkedIn and I got fucking destroyed. If you actually go to my Twitter right now, someone retweeted that tweet about like my take. And that tweet has like almost 1,000 retweets, just like making fun of me. It's pretty good if you look at my Twitter.
All right, I'll take a look.
And it's D's fault. So I fucking D kind of fucked me on this one.
Well, there's no such thing as bad press, right? A bunch of people talking shit about you is good for business.
Yeah, I got 22 new Twitter followers. 23 now. So that's good.
Amazing. All right, what can we end this on?
I don't know. Make sure you go check out all things New Republic. Their new shoes are dropping soon. We're actually shooting the campaign soon. I shoot that stuff. So if you guys ever curious what else I do around the office, that's also something else I do. So check out that. Unisex sizes. Somebody said in the chat they're super excited. Their girlfriend is so excited about the new shoes. Go check out Feet if you want super soft hoodies. I actually just take off my bed sheets and I now made one big Feet hoodie bed sheet because they're so soft. I don't need bed sheets anymore because of them. So if you want something soft, go over to Feet. Make sure you listen to group chat. And that's about it. I don't know. I don't know what else. Anything to add?
Forget to talk shit to these guys and win yourself some free shit.
Yeah, nobody talks shit. That's really weird. So we'll have to wait. Wait for that.
Get some comments talking some shit.
Oh yeah, I need some shoes. Well, if you want some shoes, you have to roast Taylor and I.
Good luck.
That's all it takes. All right, guys.
Yeah,
Gotta
Okay.
get back.
Yeah. Work. Got it, Josh. We'll catch you maybe tomorrow. If the test comes back tomorrow, I'll be back in the office tomorrow. If not, Friday it is.